What happens when the one thing everyone believes in stops working? Imagine waking up one morning to find that the cash in your wallet is worthless. Banks are closed, ATMs empty, prices on food change every hour. Not because goods have become scarce, but because the money itself has lost meaning. It sounds like fiction, but it's not. It has happened before, again and again, throughout history. From the fall of ancient empires to modern financial crises, every time money fails, a deeper question emerges. What truly survives when the illusion of wealth disappears? And more importantly, could it happen again? Money is not gold, paper, or numbers on a screen. Money is trust. It's a shared belief that a piece of paper or a digital balance has value, because others agree it does. But that trust is fragile. It depends on systems, governments, banks, and central authorities to maintain order and stability. The first recorded monetary collapse happened over 2,000 years ago in ancient Rome. As the empire expanded, it needed more coins to pay soldiers, build roads, and maintain control. But Rome had a problem. Silver was limited. So emperors began debasing their currency, mixing cheaper metals into silver coins while keeping their face value the same. At first, people didn't notice. The coins looked the same. But over time, prices rose, trust declined. And when the illusion finally broke, trade slowed, armies deserted, and the empire began to crumble from within. The lesson was simple, but forgotten many times over. Money built on illusion eventually collapses under its own weight. Fast forward to the 20th century, a century of booms, wars, and printing presses. In Germany after World War I, the government faced massive debts and reparations. Instead of raising taxes or cutting spending, it printed money. At first, it seemed like a clever fix. Factories reopened, workers were paid, and optimism returned. But then came the twist. The more they printed, the less each mark was worth. By 1923, inflation reached absurd levels. Prices doubled every few days. People needed wheelbarrows of cash just to buy bread. Children played with stacks of worthless banknotes. Money, the foundation of daily life, had failed. And when it did, people reverted to barter, trading goods, skills, and services directly. Jewelry became currency. Cigarettes, shoes, food, anything tangible held more value than paper. Germany's economy eventually recovered, not through more money, but through rebuilding trust, issuing a new currency backed by land. In the 1970s, the US dollar faced its own crisis of trust. For decades, it had been tied to gold, 1 ounce worth $35. But America had been printing more dollars than it had gold to back. In 1971, President Richard Nixon chose the latter, ending the gold-dollar link. Overnight, the global financial system shifted from money as gold to money as government decree. The term for that is fiat currency, money that has value because the government says so. At first, the new system seemed fine, but as with Rome, the seeds of fragility were planted. When money is no longer tied to something tangible, the only thing supporting it is trust. And trust can be broken. Global debt has reached over $307 trillion. More than triple global GDP. Central banks print trillions to fund stimulus and rescue markets. Currencies weaken while assets like gold, real estate, and Bitcoin surge. When currencies crumble, 3 things consistently endure. 1. Tangible assets. Land, resources, food, tools. Anything with intrinsic value becomes wealth. People with useful knowledge, builders, farmers, healers, engineers, thrive. Money can vanish overnight, but capability and community persist. 3. Trust. In the absence of functioning markets, human relationships become currency. Trust creates trade. Cooperation creates survival. These are the real stores of value when paper, digits, and institutions fail. Money has failed before. It will fail again. The question isn't if, but when and what we'll do when it does. When that day comes, those clinging to numbers in a bank account will panic. But those who understand what truly creates value, knowledge, community, and real assets will endure. Because when money fails, the illusion collapses, but humanity doesn't. If you found this story eye-opening, subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden forces shaping our financial world. And remember, the richest people in history weren't those who had the most money, but those who understood what it really meant.